Hi, I'm Carolina Jesus, and this is Reginald Apo.
Yes.
So, he has a very amazing testimony to tell about when he was dead on life support for over 1 year, and he went all through heaven. But I'm going to give you a little background on him. He has one of the most dreadful child abuse stories that I've ever heard, and I've heard a lot. And he was actually in coma many times during his childhood, hospitalized because of child abuse. And then as a young adult, he was riding this, not this motorcycle, but he's a very excellent motorcycle rider and a good mechanic. And he was riding a motorcycle and he got hit by a car, and his brains actually came out on the road and he was dead. And he was brought over to Straub Hospital. I guess, you know, his heart was still beating, but he was brain dead. And he was in Straub Hospital in Honolulu for about 377 days on life support. And about, you know, right at that time, he came back conscious again. But he was 9 years in the state hospital here in Hawaii, recovering, learning how to walk and talk and everything again. So he's very much endured many things. He's been through a lot. And Reginald, what was that like when you were in heaven? You saw the gates. What was the gates like?
Well, first of all, what had happened is that when my spirit had left my body in the hospital, and I saw my body was a wreck, and
with all the tubes coming out of your
yeah,
head.
the tubes, and you know,
And you broke your back.
Yeah, I hurt my back, my arm, and this side of the head was cracked open. And as I seen all that going up, each time I was rising, going up. And then when I started hitting in the middle part of the first heaven, then I had to walk the steps. The steps you walk up to
before the gates.
Before the gates, and I ended up 12 steps up, and I hit this gate that has the pearls look like teardrops. You know, you have the pole, and the pearl is solid pearl is a teardrop on both sides, and there was like gold. There's like chain wrapped around the pole. The whole thing made out of gold, and it was all woven, and then a big pearl in the middle of the teardrop. And what happened was the gate had opened, and when I entered, this voice told me to start headed to the light. So come to the light. So walked up 12 steps more, and then I hit this building with the door open, and had a lot of rooms. Yeah.
And you saw the Book of Life, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I should explain that Reginald doesn't read. He never went to school because of the child abuse. He never read the Bible. He never went to church. Yeah. His grandmother used to take him when he was really little, but he just ran around, crawled underneath the pews. So he didn't have any background on Christianity. He didn't have any knowledge of the Bible. So he didn't, after this happened, he didn't even tell anybody about it, because already he had a head injury and people thought he was crazy because he was in the state mental hospital. Yeah. So he didn't tell anybody for about, I think 3 or 4 years after he came out. And then when he came to Shelter of Wisdom, then he told me. And then I showed him in the Bible where all of that was true. But he didn't have any previous knowledge of that. But tell them about the Book of Life.
Yeah, when I went up to the building, door open, angels was on both sides. And I walked, and they made me turn to the left, and there was the Book of Life.
And how big was it?
The book was, I can say about, was big, like maybe real big. I couldn't really imagine how, you know, but
like big, like a house.
Like half of a house, and when the page turned, you can hear it just fold, you know.
And when you saw your name was big, like 10 feet from the left to the right.
Yeah, like the size of the car, one letter, size of the car, going down to my last name, the middle name, and my last name,
and then can you describe the angels? What did those angels look like?
The angels was, they had woven skins. They was woven, and they had wings, and they don't speak too much. They don't speak, but um, God made them do their job by keeping me going forward.
Yeah, their job was to
Yeah.
chaperone you,
Yeah,
right?
because God gave
And
them.
tell about their hair and their
Yeah,
color
their
of
hair
their...
is like salt and pepper color, and their wings are big, and they're actually they're pretty big angels too.
Yeah, they're
Yes,
tall, right?
yeah, and you know when you walk into the hallway, see these beautiful doors that are made out of gold handles, and where the flower is on the side of the wall, before you walk into the door, there's flowers, nice beautiful flowers.
Like
You
the
have,
kind of flowers they have in hotel lobbies, right?
Yeah,
Big,
it
beautiful
has.
bouquets
It's
of
like
flowers.
almost like well, not a really rainbow because it has a gray, pinkish, orange, all mixed. Yeah, so it looks like real nice.
And the door handles were very beautiful. You were
Yeah, the
saying,
door
made out of gold,
handles.
right?
Yeah, and in the hallway, I kept walking, and then this person came out of their door, and they told me that there was no room for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you wanted to get into one of those rooms,
Yeah,
didn't you?
and they told me, there's no room for you. So
the angels kept making you keep going.
yeah, because the voice that I was hearing is telling me to follow the light. So when I kept walking, then I headed to this door. One was black, and one was the one with the light right around the door. You see the light of trimming. So the door opened, and I traveled up to the next building with walking on 12 steps. And then when I walked into that next building, it was beautiful. And then that's when I kind of like going straight, and then like you said, God gave me a life review or renew my mind. It took me back into 1962.
That's the year that you were born.
Yeah, 61 I was born, but you know, I guess I.
And how was that? You said that you were everything was made of gold and it was clear and you could
yeah,
see through
the glass floor is clear, bluish color, and you can see. And like I didn't know God or anything, but He gave me one called it a renew of your mind, because He knew I had a head injury, so He took me back from way back, all the way going to when I was growing up.
So you saw like a movie playing every
Yeah,
single thing
I
that
saw
you did.
every single thing I did.
Right up until the accident.
All the way up to the accident. But when I saw the accident, I was almost headed towards the 12th building on top.
Yeah, that was
with
towards
the clouds.
the end of
Yeah,
your
with
journey.
the clouds. Yeah, and then as I was walking up, and then I seen the river, and I really thought that people sliding down, and I thought they, oh, you know, they're getting cremated so they catch fire.
Oh yeah, because
You know?
he actually saw people. There was people that were behind him in line that their names were not written in the book of life, and so they were told to go to the door on the left that was dark.
Yeah.
His name was written in the book of life, and he was told to go to the light, to the door on the right. But then when he saw this river, he saw people bursting into flame. It's like they were riding on a raft down the river, and then all of a sudden they burst into flame. And then they ended up in this big lake that was on fire, and the people, he said, they looked like they were on rafts, and they kept burning up, and then when they were finished burning, then they would stop, but then they would burn up again.
Right.
And you understood that was,
Yeah,
you thought that was people getting cremated.
Yes, I thought it, because I didn't know anything about the Bible.
Yeah.
And you know that when I walk up to going to up the second, building with the 12 steps, the thing is all sealed. So when you're walking out to the next building, they're all sealed. There's gold windows on side. It's tinted. You can see through it, and I could still see my life review as I was growing up.
Yes.
Through the blue glass floor, and the steps is all made out of glass.
And then tell them about when you saw the workers working on the
the
road, and the road is made of gold, and they were working on the buildings.
Yeah, there was grinding some gold, and the thing was just flying in the air.
Yeah.
And that's when I kind of remember that we went to church one time, and people was finding gold on the ground.
Dust.
That's when put me to a point where that's right. Certain time of the year, the grinding gold, and it goes from above, comes down.
Like when they're working on the road, or
they're
or
working on the steps
buildings.
and the buildings, yeah. And so I look, wow, what they said at church is all matches to what I saw, and it's pretty, amazing.
Yeah, because we had some ministries here in Hawaii that we went to, and even when we prayed for people where gold would come out on our hands, gold would come out on the Bible, you look around and the people on the floor, they have gold all over them.
Yeah.
So when Reginald experienced that, then he remembered the workers in heaven grinding the gold.
And,
tell about the green pastures.
And the diamonds and marbles, gems, whatever it was,
Yeah.
And and I seen this guy, and then
that's what the buildings are made out of, right?
Yeah. And when I walked up, went up to the 12 steps, looking to the sealed glass, because everything from one building to the next is all sealed with glass. So then you can see the pasture with all nice green, and there's hedges around with flowers, and it's beautiful.
And you saw children. What did you see in the
pasture?
And then you saw horses.
I seen horses. Yeah. I seen a red one, I seen a black one, I seen a white one, and the red one is like more like it's really like somebody's hair, but it's really dark and red.
Yeah. They call that red, but it's kind of brown.
Yes, actually. And and then I went up to the next building, and I seen this walking in, and then I seen this like a library, books is all lying out.
Right.
And as I was going to that hallway, and always in the middle, this person comes out of the door, and he tells me, "I'm sorry, there's no room for you. There's no room for me." So okay, so I listened to the voice. The voice told me, "Follow the light."
So what was in the library?
A library was people's look at their life review, but they didn't see it to the floor, so they have to look it up in the book.
Oh.
So they have to read all that, because I guess, I don't know what happened.
Everything we do and say is recorded in a book.
Yeah,